Good morning, beautiful humans. Let's dive in together. Let's be creative together. Let's be supernatural together. I'm going to talk about that today. It was on my heart last night, like midnight. And I was just going through where did I want to go today with Encounter? And I want to show you something. This is a pin. Can you see it? It's actually one of my Seek Church pins. I have bags of these things. They're actually really decent pins. Yeah. They're great. I use them all the time. But it's a ballpoint. Nothing fancy schmancy. It's not flashy. It gets the job done, right? And I could sit here and want a really nice pen. I don't even remember what those pens are called. But anyways, there's this really Blanc, whatever. Anyways, Mont Blanc pens. I've never had a desire for an expensive pen like that, but I could want a really awesome, fancy schmancy pen. $50, $200. I mean, there's some of them are more than that. It's crazy. But I could sit here and I could talk about how much I hate this pen and how I'm not going to write a single word until I can afford a $200 pen. Or I can use this pen right now exactly as it is. And I can write amazing things. I can even draw. I've done many drawings, done actually more drawings with a ballpoint pen than I have other pens. And so I was thinking about that today, along with the question that I ask us every single week. Could you allow yourself to be exactly as you are right now? We can sit here and wish that we were different, wish that we were better, wish that we were fixed, wish that there was something else that would manifest itself from us. Or we could, even while we're waiting for the transformation, waiting for the something new, not to fix anything today, not to repair anything today, but actually be here. You're here because you're already home. Here's who I am, right? You're here because you're already perfect for this moment. And this is the exact pin that's needed for right now. So as I was just thinking about why that question can sometimes feel so hard, it's just because we will get stuck in the I want transformation. I want everything to change. I want the new so much that we can miss out on the fact that where we are right this minute today, accepting who we are today is actually opening the realm for the transformation. Not accepting where we are today actually constricts us and closes us off from the realm of transformation. So many of us we've walked through life. Here's the deal. Like, I want you to recognize how freaking awesome you are. That's it. I just want you to understand how absolutely awesome, amazing you are right now. Not to sit here and try to hype you up and just be like, Erin's a cheerleader. No. So many of us have walked through life feeling like our humanness, right? Our need, our body, our emotions, our longing is proof that we're on our own. Now listen, we can say the acceptable prayers, we meditate, but if there's ever even a tiny bit where we feel separate from God because of our humanness, separate from love because of maybe moments of unlove, or even separate from each other. Listen, you can be in a crowded room and still be the loneliest person there. We've seen it. We've probably experienced it. But sometimes there is an offering, right? An offering from within the hard place that questions, where are you? Is there something I'm doing wrong? Right? Is there something I could be doing better? Is there a reason it doesn't seem like the prayers are answered? I call those moments the one where we question our state of humanness. I call that just this this desire this desire for more. And there's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with it. But what if our humanness was never the wall? It was the doorway. It was God created this infinite being. He put himself in me to be the doorway, not the problem child. Does anybody ever feel like a problem child? And that ache that we sometimes feel, the ache to connect, is the connection. It's trying to be felt, it's trying to be experienced. And so I just want you to know, I just have to say this because I don't know what you're listening to, I don't know what you're hearing, but if anyone tells you that you're separate and that you have to earn your way back or perform your way in, fix yourself to qualify, is just simply not telling the truth. And if there's something in you that's saying that, you need to be better. You need to qualify. The reason you're not having this is because there's something innately wrong inside of you and you just haven't figured it out. You haven't repented enough. You haven't let go enough. No. Many of us kind of adopted those feelings of needing to be better even as kids, right? Messaging that might have been to actually hurt, or messaging that was meant to inspire. I think I've told you guys this. About a year ago, I was at a conference and this guy who's I'm talking like buff, workshop, he and his wife, I mean, they obviously have a healthy relationship with the gym. And I'm really impressed with that. Like they deserve kudos. Their bodies were like sculpted. And we were talking about something that I was really kind of trying to grab a hold of in lifestyle choices and food and all of it, and exercise. And as we were walking away, and it was super encouraging to talk to him, it really encouraged me. But as we were walking away, this guy said, "I know you're not going to do it." And I said, "Excuse me?" And he said, "Oh, I know you're not going to do it." And I was like, "Why would you say that to me?" He said, "Because I know that's going to inspire you to do it." And I was like, "Yeah, I don't work that way." And I'm telling you, I probably would never listen or watch a thing they ever had to say again. If that's what it took for you to give me all of this beautiful, beautiful gift, right? Of you can do this, and then to turn around and say, "I know you're not going to do it," and to put that on me. Now, I immediately was like, "You ain't putting that on me," right? But I just was thinking about that this morning and thinking about, do we do that? Do we have this subtle, like, little, like, are you going to actually do it this time? Are you going to do this? Are you going to do this? And anyways, it's not about when we can get out of the mind of, I need to get somewhere. What we're doing when we're just living and I need to get somewhere, we're not living in where we are now. And let me just tell you guys, love never asks you to prove you to belong to it. Ever. Never, ever, ever, ever has love said, you need to prove your worth. Has love given the vibe of, you need to prove your worth? No, never, ever. So when we will look at this realm and be able to say, okay, this is where I am right now. And it's okay. It actually does. It's great. And I actually am not looking for something else. Y'all, amazing things happen right here. And so let's just do a somatic anchor as we do so often. I love to do these. I do these personally all throughout the week, at least once a day. So let's just settle in a moment. I want you to feel your feet. Feel the chair. Feel the ground. Feel the bed underneath you. Just notice your breath. Just right now, just take a moment. Notice your breath. Just notice. Something we don't really notice unless we're kind of asked to. Notice your breath. You did not start it. You are not maintaining it on your own stream. It's just happening, right? Something is breathing you right now. That's union. That's love. It's not a concept, a sensation. It's actually happening in your body right now. So let's just follow our breath. I like to see my breath as just as a circle. I will see it. I'll see it coming from the very lower part of my tummy, and I see it just coming up the back of my spine, and then it hangs out here, and then it just falls like a waterfall over my heart. And when I will stop and just notice my breath and notice the beauty of something that there's no way I could have created or man could have created, that I was a created being and this breath is created and I'm actually breathing the very breath of God, something signals my whole body to go, okay, in the noticing, in the just pausing to feel my feet, feel the chair, feel the ground. There's something very supernatural at play all the time, that I did not start and I am not required to make happen, maintain, right? So even right now, I just want you to take that breath and now just see your breath as gratitude. Again, we're signaling our nervous system and our body that you can let go and you can be exactly as you are. So I'm just going to go, thank you. First of all, I just thank you that this breath is not labored, that this breath is mine. This breath is always available to me, all the time. It's here. It's mine. So just feel that right now. We notice it. We notice even the ground, whether your feet are on the ground or they're in the bed, you know that ground is holding that bed. And just say right now, even to your body, I am supported. I'm supported. I'm here. And just notice that maybe your shoulders loosened a little bit, maybe your jaw loosened a little bit. That's love at work. You can't see it, you can't tangibly feel it, but you know it's happening. And listen, for 10 weeks now, we've established some truths, right? We started off, our very first meeting 10 weeks ago was you are already loved. You were loved before you did anything to earn it. We talked about the unfailing power of love that has no mechanism for failure whatsoever. We talked about I'm worthy right now. I'm worthy to receive everything that this creator of the universe has for me. I am worthy right now. And that's something you should probably come back to on a regular basis. Anytime you feel like the need to earn, just let yourself know, even in this moment, I'm worthy to receive. I'm worthy to receive health. I'm worthy to receive abundance. I'm worthy to receive ideas. I'm worthy to receive the relationships that I long for. We talked about safety was never something you had to build. The war is over. Something begins inside of me. We talked about last week, like something happens in me when I surrender to this beautiful, infinite, loving God that goes beyond anything I can hope and desire. And this is so basic, but it's not basic when you're in the middle of the stuff, yeah? And every one of those statements, those teachings, were never simply comfort for a wound, comfort for brokenness. Week after week, y'all, has been evidence of what was always true. Week after week. What is this encounter meeting that we do? It's truly, we're gathering evidence. We're gathering evidence for the court, for that place where we ever forget and step into that place of judgment. We can go, wait a minute. All the evidence has been gathered. It's for me. It's for me. I'm not guilty. I was already judged, not guilty. Not guilty. Oh my gosh. This is everything. And so I can just remember as a kid and in high school, does anybody ever understand the whole perfectionist thing where if you were a perfectionist, then you hear that word and you're like, man, that was a hard life to live. Well, I very much lived in a way where if I didn't do it perfect, if I didn't get the perfect grade, and the fact is I got great grades. Nobody ever was hounding me to do what I did. But what happened was if I didn't get 100, if I just got a B, that wasn't good enough. I had to have a 4.0. So I would do homework over and over again. My friends and I would do our homework together so we could check each other's answers and make sure we were doing it right. And while maybe it helped me learn, it really took so much time and energy, all for one reason, to be best, to be the best, to be perfect. And nobody was hounding me to do that except for me. So this place of not being enough was something, and it's probably why I talk about it so much, y'all, because it was ingrained inside of me. Again, my parents, man, I could do no wrong, y'all. Thanks, Dad. Like, truly, other family members would get mad because they would talk about Erin and how awesome Erin is and how perfect Erin is, that it actually made people like, okay, stop talking about her. We don't care. But when I realized that so much of that pressure came from me, I had a moment when I was working at a church. I may have told you guys this, but I was working at a church and I was kind of the producer of the show. And it was great. Isn't it so bad to say that about a church? But it was. It was definitely well thought out from start to finish. It was my job to kind of produce the morning. And we did have flow and we had awesome moments of worship, and I would sometimes lead worship, and then I would have my worship hat on where I'm just focused on the Lord and I'm just focused on just worshiping Him. And then that hat would kind of slip off in the middle of worship because I would see a tree in the back that had fallen and was kind of halfway, and I'd be like, oh my gosh, how did that happen? I mean, seriously, like I felt like I was like, wait a minute, no, focus on God, but the tree, focus on the God. What if somebody runs into the tree? Like I was constantly juggling in my head where to be. I hadn't found my home inside of me that we talk about. And I can remember one morning we had this dancer that was dancing, and I mean, it was gorgeous. It was anointed, y'all. It was to this beautiful worship song, and wow, it was so good. And she definitely is somebody that likes everything to be just right. And the lights went out. The lights went out in the sanctuary, and I'm like freaking out. And I run outside and I look out, and you can tell the whole neighborhood, all the lights are out. And you understand there's nothing I can do about that. But I remember sitting on the chair downstairs, almost in tears, thinking, oh my gosh, she's going to be so mad at me, the dancer. And then the pastor's really going to be mad at me. And then going, what are you talking about? There is quite literally nothing you can do about a power outage, except what he's going to do is he's going to get up there and he's going to talk louder today. And maybe not the people in the back, maybe they won't be able to hear him, but everybody else will, because he knows how to project. And I can remember feeling my body so tense, y'all, knowing that this is a problem. I've got anxiety and stress that are giving me ulcers, that are creating a realm that I was like, I won't last very long living like this. And I remember making that decision that day, sitting downstairs. I wasn't even in the sanctuary before I ran back up to the sanctuary to make sure everything was okay. I remember sitting down there going, I need to let this job go. I need to do something else. And y'all, that's when I actually went to school and went to interior design school and started my business 2 weeks into design school, and actually kind of left working for the church. And there was something about that mix of pressure and responsibility that caused me to go so inward in a way that simply wasn't healthy. Now, you may be like, well, you were crazy. Who would think like that? I've never had that before. And if you haven't, yay. But I just wanted to address any place that feels like you don't deserve to be right here, perfect for this present moment. Any place that makes you feel like you need to strive or earn your place in love, in God, oh man, let me just tell you, it it's just a lie. It's just not true, because you deserve to be here exactly as you are. So I want to tell you something that happened to me this week. It was really cool. I was editing the replay of Expression, and let me just tell you, for those of you who were there, we had a good time, huh? It was so fun and different and unique, right? And so as I was editing the replay, I was definitely thinking of things that could be better, and I wanted to explain things better. And so I added some pieces before and after the experience, just kind of help make it super clear. And as I was going back through it, listening again many times in the editing process, I want you to know I wasn't expecting anything. I was just doing the work. But as I kept listening, I kept saying over to Dad, like, wow, this is really good. It's really good. And I felt myself go into a different mode a number of times. Now, I was using my editing brain, but as I'm going through, it was working on me to create space. And because I had created space, there were times and moments over this last week where I could just sit there, let myself listen, didn't rush it, and ideas started coming. Creative ideas. Some of my own journaling from that time actually turned into art pieces that I realized, you know what? People have asked for things from me at times, and I'm going to turn some of my art pieces actually into pieces that I will sell and even make prints of. And I just hadn't thought that way before, right? And so as I was just being, ideas emerged. I wasn't asking for ideas. I wasn't asking for new business strategies. I wasn't asking for another way of income. I just was being, and the idea popped into my head. And then it went from this to this. Oh, it could be really cool. So what I'm saying here, that's not a coincidence. It's not a coincidence. That's what happens when you stop scanning for what's wrong and let yourself just be in connection. That's the big deal. I wasn't trying to create anything right then. I was actually just doing a job, but I was present. And because I wasn't fighting myself, right, something was able to move through me that wouldn't have shown up if I had stayed in the war. Why? Not because of punishment, not because judgment constricts. Judgment makes me go, I'm bracing for the next pound, right? No. Like, judgment says, don't move, don't get in trouble, hide yourself, right? Yeah, it is so good, yeah? Like, space unfolds and allows creativity to unfold. And so I want to talk a little bit about creativity, because sometimes I feel like we can get a little like, well, yeah, well, Erin, clearly you're super creative. Well, no, like, we need to think about what creativity is, right? It's not just about you have to go make a painting. Creativity is this. It's a new way to say something to your spouse that you've been saying the same dead way for 10 years. That's creativity. It's an idea for business, a side project, a way to make money that didn't exist before. That's what happened to me. I wasn't even looking for that at the moment. It is the idea for how to finally approach your boss about a raise. I have a friend that I'm constantly going, have you talked to your boss yet about a raise? Have you like advocated for yourself yet? And that feels so hard in the moment. And the only reason it feels hard is because of unworthiness. Well, that's part of why we talk about what we talk about here today. Because creativity is knowing that I have the right words and I have the evidence already. The evidence is that I'm not guilty. The evidence is I'm perfect for this moment. And I know if that feels hard to say, practice it. Practice saying it over and over again until it's not hard. Creativity is the question you finally now know how to ask in a conversation that's felt stuck. You know what I'm talking about, right? It's noticing exactly what your kid needs to hear in the moment that you didn't plan and couldn't have planned. It's knowing how to encourage your friend who is totally stuck. It's knowing how to bring the thing that helps them get out of judgment and into space. Creativity is a new recipe, right? It's a new route home. It's one of the things I miss about New York City. Now, I have lots of routes home here to my house because we can go highway or through the mountains, but New York City, nothing was like that. We could be going to the same place. We could be going to the Empire State Building and go 10 different ways on 10 different streets and have an entirely new experience. I mean, see an entirely new world just on 32nd versus 36th when we were actually headed to 34th. And I loved that. I loved that so much. I very rarely just went the same route somewhere. Why? Creating space, making room, right? That's creativity. Creativity, you know what else it is? It's the decision to forgive someone. It's not weakness. It's an act of creation. The choice to say, I don't need to defend my place. I actually am going to forgive them from this place of the judgment was already made and I'm not guilty. Guess what? The judgment on them is already made and they're not guilty. It's the place and the space where forgiveness looks like something that pulls them into the same realm of acceptance that you have. That's creativity. Anywhere something gets to move through you that judgment was blocking. That's our definition for creativity. And for those of us who are creatives, like we have songwriters here and we have entrepreneurs here, we have salesmen here, like you can say one thing in one way and it has all the facts of your product. And people are going to be like, buy. You can say it in another way that brings value, that actually touches them personally, that opens their space up to receive the product that you're selling. I know you guys experience this, right? And so as we will tap into that, again, supernatural for so long felt like the super's up here, my natural's down here. No, you are the supernatural move of God and the move of love here on this planet right now, exactly as you are. Even if you feel like the seek pin, the ballpoint pin, you'll have to watch the replay. So much of the time we think creativity is a performance. If I would just do it right, if I would just try harder, focus better, push more, then something good would come out. That's not it at all. Not at all. This is why, even again with expression, the point of pausing, like what we did last weekend, is giving yourself space. Even giving yourself a blank piece of paper. Now, the only paper that I have on my table right now is a Post-it. But can I tell you what amazing things happen on a Post-it? Also, can I tell you the amazing things that have been written out on a napkin for years? When I realized that this is never going to judge me. I can write, I can draw, I can doodle, I can draw really bad. I can write really bad. There's no judgment here, but sometimes just the act of creating space and allowing myself to emerge, that was a big word from our class on Sunday. Allow ourselves to emerge, y'all. Beauty happens. And that blank piece of paper becomes your partner. And there's so many ways to do this. For me, it's been journaling all these years. And there have been years that I didn't journal, that I just drew, or my page looked like me sitting down at the piano and writing songs. That was my journaling. It was something. It was me sitting across the table over coffee with an amazing human that just forgot how awesome they are. It's stepping into childlike freedom. It's taking a different route through New York City because I knew I'm going to see something cool. Right? Sometimes it's taking time to just sit and let my imagination go somewhere different than where I am in the middle of the hard thing. Yeah? So that's where almost everything I just named has come from. Not from trying harder. Nope. It came from space. It's way less about being creative or performing creative, right? It's way less about that and way more about living as a creative being with space. Oh, that's it, right? You're not flailing around here trying to make something happen on your own steam. You never were. The space itself is where it moves through you. We're talking about holy, divine, creative space. And that's what expression was. And in that little over an hour and a half, or less than an hour and a half of creating space, real space, watching what wants to come through you when you allow for it. And listen, if you weren't able to be there live, and I know a lot of you couldn't because of Father's Day, the replay and the full workbook are still open. And actually, I liked it better because I could pause and go at my own pace. I could pause and sit with one of the questions longer than we could on the recording or on the live. And so right now, I just want you to know, I said this last week, right now, if you want to go through it, just send me some simple feedback. You get the next one as my guest. So I'm just saying, go to stopthebodywar.com. I'm just doing a little commercial right now because y'all, not because of business, but because it was so good and I don't want you to miss it. It was one of the coolest things we've ever done. And you get the replay and the book, and then you'll get the next one and the replay and the book. So I'm just telling you, it's a really great deal. So, but more than just an offer, why am I talking about this space? I want you to hear this. When you stop fighting your own humanness, when you let it be the connection instead of the obstacle, things move. Hear me again. When we will stop fighting our own humanness and let that be the connection, the door, instead of the obstacle, things move. Space creates solutions, creative things, true things, things that we're always trying to get through. And y'all, that's why my new book, which is coming, it's not anywhere near done, but my new book is called A Place to Be Human. It's a place to be human because I am not looking for a supernatural intervention outside of me anymore. I am recognizing that I am the supernatural intervention. I am the supernatural reflection. I am the supernatural creative act of God here on earth, and I always have been. That's why A Place to Be Human is exactly where we need to feel our safest. That we can walk into an arena where it feels like everybody believes different than us, but we know who we are. Not because we're super strong and I got all the right words to say. I've heard people that, man, they could win an argument every single time. And so a lot of times we'll hear somebody like that and we'll be like, well, I'm not as eloquent as that. I remember, I've told you guys this, but I would read other people's books and I would be like, I'm just not that eloquent. I don't know that I could ever write like that. And you know, as I was even working on becoming human, doing what I'm talking about a number of months ago, I realized, wait a minute. I don't want to just write a book. I've always wanted to include my drawings. So it's actually going to be a book on mindfulness meets a journal meets an adult coloring book. Y'all, it's so very Aaron. It's so creative kingdom expression. I am the creative kingdom expression of God. That came in me pausing and creating space, and the idea came. I didn't even know adult coloring books were a thing, but they're a big thing. People do this all the time. They spend big money on it. And I was like, that's what I want as my book. I'm telling you this because there are ideas inside of you. There are creative realms inside of you that are so ready. If you will just answer that first question at the beginning of today, could you accept yourself exactly as you are and not sit around and wait to be better to do the thing that's in your heart? Tagging you in. Coach Aaron is tugging you in. I'm getting you off the bench and I'm pulling you into the play. This is it, right? I kept separating super from natural, like they were two separate things. Like I had to wait for an addition. Wait for the next anointed man or woman of God to pray for me, and then I would get it. There's nothing wrong with that, but don't do it from a place of waiting and neediness. Do it from a place of, I have it all. You're confirming where I already am. Then that makes ministry a whole other realm. This is amazing. I wanted to be your cheerleader today. I wanted you to know that you were created as supernatural beings. You're not waiting for an addition. You're not waiting for an upgrade. You're not waiting to be fixed. Exactly as you are right now, exactly as human as I am right now, there was never a problem to solve. It should have always just been. Right? And I have to talk about the infinite love of God as we wrap this up, because you just need to know He's billions, gazillions. Sometimes infinite seems just so outlandish, but okay, billions, gazillions times bigger than we could ever imagine. And His kindness and His love and His joy that was infused into us is also a gazillion times bigger than we could ever imagine. Anything, y'all, that ever taught you to feel separate from Him, worship a little more to get to Him, read your Bible a little more to get to Him, do good things in order to get to Him, man, can we just let go of that? All of it. Do those things because you're one with Him. Worship because I can't help it, because everything within me was made to be in this realm of love, and I just have to sing about it. I just have to worship Him. I just have to talk to Him about it, because I can't help it. I have to be grateful. Gratitude comes up within me, because I cannot do anything else, because I'm one. I'm one with the Creator of the universe. Yay! The crowd goes wild. Nothing can ever separate us from the love, the infinite, gargantuan love of God. Oh, and here's the thing. Love is not just something He does. Love is not an action. It is a noun. And because it is a noun, actions will follow. It's who He is. He is the epitome of love that cannot fail. And He created you in His image. You've heard me say this a gazillion times. So you being able to be that love for your world, for your spouse, for your kids, for your friends, for your job, that's not you working hard to perform love. It's simply because you are already one with love. That's it. It already lives inside of you. It's who you are. I mean, isn't that just the best news? It just is. So even as we wrap this up, I need you to hear me. You were never out here alone figuring out how to get it back in. Right? You were never there. This is not a meeting. long. This is not a meeting. It's the experience of love. Encounter is this few minutes together on a Saturday morning where we experience love, because love is not just what we say or do, it's who we are. Yeah? So this is where, guys, I want you to just take a moment. I want you to take a moment and let it just be you. I want your supernaturalness to be allowed to shine through. So right now, close your eyes if that feels comfortable, or you don't have to. But just see yourself in Him, in love, in full acceptance. Hear the Creator of the universe say, could you accept yourself exactly as you are? Chrissy, hear the Creator of the universe say, you are enough. Becky, hear the Creator say, I accept you exactly as you are. Papa Jim, hear the Creator of the universe say, you are enough. Paula, hear the Creator say, there's nothing missing and nothing broken in you, because there's nothing missing and nothing broken in me. Aisha, hear the Creator say, I accept you exactly as you are. Shane, hear the Creator say, you are a creator in my image. You create like I do. Terry, hear that voice. Hear the voice of the beloved that says, I love you, I accept you, I receive you exactly as you are. Linda, hear the words, I accept you, you are enough, right now, right here. And let's just all right now, just put a hand on your heart or your belly or your head or wherever. Lay your hands on yourself. And just breathe in the ministry of the Creator of the universe, of God, of the Father, Jesus, Holy Spirit, love. Just breathe love in, the one who is love and has poured every bit of his love into you, and just say, I receive your love. I am your love. I am your unfailing love that has no mechanism for breakdown, for failure. I am that love right now, exactly as I am today. Just take a deep breath in. Doesn't that feel so good? Oh man. My heart's desire today was just to give you some mega Aaron love. And listen, again, sign up for Expression. It's $97, and you get this one and the next one as my guest. And you get both books that'll go along with both. And it will be expanded. I already have great ideas for the next one. It's going to be so stinking cool. But sign up for it. I put the link, stopthebodywar.com/expression. Grab it. And listen, we are seeing Seek Church manifest in a different way. It feels a little bit different, right? It's on a Saturday morning, but if you would like to sow into Seek Church, I want to thank you for doing that at seekchurchnyc.com. We actually made it easier. I have a new platform and made it a lot easier, and it's even more secure. It's just good. It's good stuff. So thank you for sewing into that. But more than anything right now today, would you just even take 30 seconds after this call ends and sow love into you? Could you just be the best receiver of God's love that you've ever met today? And just even say, I'm ready to create with you. Say that to the Creator. Let's just do it now. I'm ready and I'm willing to create with you, with no limits, nothing holding me back, in fullness. I say yes to that level of creativity, not because I earned it, not because I deserve it, because Creator is who I am. I was created in your image. I get to be a creator here on earth. A creator of solutions, a creator of life, a creator of beautiful things, all the things. All right, y'all. I love you. Happy Saturday.